Okay, look, pick any famous celebrity or politician who was against Donald Trump and called him a Nazi or Hitler. Yes, they are amongst the people now who are calling for civility, but we'll just run through the top most notable ones. So this is the segment we like to call Then and Now. All right, so let's go to the wonderful not commander-in-chief.
Okay.
Would like to be president-elect. Really hopes to be president. Sending some Sherry's berries to Clarence Thomas and an I'm sorry. Joe Biden. Joe Biden is now calling for, when I say Joe Biden is right now garbling for civility.
We may be opponents, but we're not enemies. We're Americans. No matter who you voted for, I'm certain of one thing. The vast majority of the almost 150 million Americans who voted, they want to get the vitriol out of our politics. We're certainly not going to agree on a lot of issues, but at least we can agree to be civil with one another.
Yeah, we're certainly not going to agree on a lot of issues, like abortion up until and including after birth.
Yeah. The abolition of the Second Amendment. Probably not.
So he's saying we should stop the vitriol. Well, okay, let's go back to Biden then, where he called Donald Trump ugly folk and also threatened violence against the president.
This isn't a political statement like those ugly folks over there beeping the horns.
They asked me would I like to debate this gentleman. And I said no. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
He threatened to beat up the president.
Oh my gosh. But we have to be friends now.
Think about this.
Right.
I know we need to get vitriol out of politics. You threatened to strike the president in the face repeatedly. You said beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
You didn't say I'd like to get one shot or give him the old 1-2, right? Or maybe Zach tap him. You said I want to beat the hell out of him.
Very clear.
Well, this was just like Kamala when she said you have to believe all women and that Joe Biden's accusers were probably telling the truth until she needed to, be on the ticket.
That's probably because he beat the hell out of her.
All in the name of unity.
Yes.
Behind the gender-neutral gym. Yeah. So again, civility. Kamala is now calling for healing in our, I say our, maybe not her, nation.
The essential work to save lives and beat this epidemic, to rebuild our economy so it works for working people, to root out systemic racism in our justice system and society,
Doesn't exist.
to combat the climate crisis, to unite our country and heal the soul of our nation.
Well, you're not supposed to make any threats of violence, so obviously don't take this seriously.
Sure.
But figuratively, I would just like to take the corners of those ascots, that ascot bow, and just tight.
I think that would just keep going. I think that would heal the soul of our nation.
Heal the soul. Maybe a bungee cord.
Oh, wow.
Of course, I don't mean it like Biden meant beating the hell out of our president.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just saying, just tighten that. If I were the wardrobe sales, I'd just tighten that ascot enough to make her nervous. Like, is that the right? Maybe a little tight. Okay, I'll loosen it. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Is that better? Here's some tea. Drink up. There's nothing wrong with it.
You got really creepy.
I just want you to live looking over your shoulder, over your allegedly biracial shoulder. So that's her now.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Kamala then, when she encouraged protesters to continue burning down cities.
Are you talking about the
don't want to play the. I don't think we should play the Kamala clip that we have.
No.
Which one?
You got to skip over the one.
The one with
San Francisco
and shoot.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. Okay, that's right. No, yeah, we had that. Not the one with her blowing Willie Brown.
Oh,
yeah, we can't show that on
I'll
YouTube.
skip that one.
No, show the one of her then. Yeah. Make sure you have the one where. So this was her saying healing unity, and now the then clip, not the Willie Brown clip.
Right. Can't show that.
Which led to her career. The clip of her encouraging protesters. Yeah.
But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And they're not, this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that. on both levels. That this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
It's a threat of violence.
No.
Threat of violence.
She said we should.
She's saying that the cities are going to be burned down regardless because you're white.
No, she said they're not going
to. It's like AOC said. It's about the entire destruction of Western civilization and our systems as we know it. And white people need to be retrained, and we need to destroy capitalism. And you also see Kamala Harris. This is something that really bothers me. Anytime you see someone discuss equity versus equality and how equity is more desirable, that person's a communist. Because equity can, and it sounds, this is something you see a lot of pseudo-intellectuals do. Like you see like the Noam Chomsky, well, so much about equality, it's about equity. Equity means forced outcomes. Equity would be, right now, I would force every single person here gets paid the exact same, despite the fact that you don't work the same hours as Wade, and despite the fact that Wade doesn't have the same experience as Tim, and despite the fact that Maddie's a girl. So the point is, of course I'm going to pay 77 cents.
I still don't get paid.
You can't force equity. You cannot force equity. And the two, by the way, they are mutually exclusive. You need to understand this. Equity, if your policy is favoring equity between all people, races, creeds, genders, LGBTQ, AIP, you cannot have equal opportunity.
No, not at all.
Because you will preclude people from opportunity as long as they are perceived as a majority or the position of people in power. You cannot enforce equity without directly infringing on equality, and that's what Kamala Harris is talking about, and your house is going to be burned down. Sandy Vagina, who speaks. Romney, he went on CNN to tell people that he doesn't see any evidence of voter fraud, and he asked people to get behind Joe Biden while he gets in front of him.
And below.
Is this Romney 2024? Is this what he's setting up for?
It's always been Romney. It's any era Romney. It's the same Romney.
Oh.
It's the same old Romney. Oh my God! You want to know why? You want to know why we needed Donald Trump? Because McCain and Romney were nominated beforehand. Think about it. Was anyone enthusiastic?
That was very tough.
No.
You put Palin on a bumper sticker. You thought, okay, but can we change the letterhead with McCain and Palin? Romney and Paul Ryan.
Very boring.
Again, you can go back to during that time. I don't think I ever described Paul Ryan as anything other than a wiener, and I am super conservative.
I said bean counter. So
did you call him bean counter?
Bean counter, yeah.
Well, he's got a bean head.
Well,
a little bean head, his little picture spread of his P90X. So Romney said that people should get behind Joe Biden, and he's been talking about how we need to unify the country and heal. But here's Romney. Then, where terms like con man and supporter of the KKK. Here's what he said about Donald Trump.
There's plenty of evidence that Mr. Trump is a con man, a fake. Mr. Trump has changed his positions not just over the years, but over the course of the campaign, and on the Ku Klux Klan daily for 3 days in a row.
What is that even? Shut up. Shut up. What? That just goes to show you, Romney, it's not about him disagreeing with policy. For example, Ted Cruz did take it to Donald Trump in the primaries. Ted Cruz did, on certain issues of policy, he was saying that maybe you aren't consistent. But he didn't accuse Donald Trump of the KKK. That's leftist. That's far left shit.
Yeah.
By the way, he basically has his own spot any given time he wants on Fox News. That's my point. Those are the kinds of conservatives who are welcome. Not a conservative who maybe disagrees. Like Dan Crenshaw isn't going in as hard as I would like on the election irregularities right now, but he is. Ted Cruz is going into the paint, getting into the paint. I don't know. The point is, he's making a go of it. Mitt Romney, he uses a social justice warrior attack as a Republican, the KKK. You know that's not true.
Yeah.
You know that's not true. And by the way, when we're talking Mitt Romney about Donald Trump changing his position, here's the thing. I have more grace for Donald Trump, who lived his life as likely a secular New Yorker, and then was surrounded by evangelical Christians, who he seems to genuinely appreciate, and by the way, who seem to be very loyal to him. That is something when people say, everyone's abandoning Donald Trump. You don't really see it from people in his cabinet who aren't swamp things, but people who are actual Christians. Right. So I tend to believe more that Donald Trump maybe hadn't thought about abortion a lot, and I criticized him during the primary, saying, how have you not thought about these things when you're almost 70 years old? But you can trace it. You know what? Now he hears an argument for life, and he can say, Okay, you know what? I understand that. I didn't know that it had DNA. I didn't know it had its own blood. There's a flash. There's a turning point. Mitt Romney was pro-abortion for decades while he was still a Mormon. So what changed? Did God get on his red telephone in the temple ring? Sorry, hey, you know what? You might want to get right about abortion because you've been going against my church's teaching for a long time. Shut up! I'm not up for re-election in 2 years. Click.
Yeah.
What changed, Mitt Romney?
Right.
You only changed due to political expediency. Donald Trump changed because I think he had a change of heart, and that is proven by how he governed. More conservative than you in state legislatures, and more conservative than George W. or George H.W. on a national level, and it's not even close. So don't accuse. So it makes sense why you accuse him of being with the KKK.
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.